It's me, 4! And today we're gonna review the new Hellboy movie. But wait! There's more! I've got some buddies here. This is Tenpound Hammer, and that's Buddha back there. They join us from the Professionals Gamer Group. They're pretty cool people. I'm just saying that so they like me and be my friend. So, we all went out the other night and wanted to go see the new Hellboy movie despite everybody telling us that it sucked. But we don't believe in, listening to people. That's what our moms always told us. So, yeah, here we are. We're going to just have a weird little discussion. This is really out of my usual format, but I thought, fuck it, it'll be fun. So, we're now going to talk about our feelings, like in therapy class, or group, or fuck it. I fucked that up. So anyway, here we go. So, what do you guys think about the movie Hellboy?
I didn't think it deserved the hate it got.
Why not?
Well, I think most people thought that because Del Toro and Ron Perlman weren't in it, it was going to be bad, but I didn't really have a whole lot of huge expectations, so I didn't have, I didn't expect Del Toro's touch on it or Ron Perlman to be in it, but David Harbour did a really good job, and his character's makeup and everything else looked like it was straight out of the comics. So, I didn't really have any complaints with it. The storyline was the storyline seemed a little rushed, but at the same time, it was more accurate to the comic books.
See, I have my minor complaints, which I do have a couple. Actually, he touched on two. One, the storyline did feel a little rushed. Like, I think that they built up really hardcore. Like, it felt like they were building up some epic thing at the end, and then they just kind of, cut off her head. It really felt like there was going to be much more coming. Oh, spoiler alert! He cuts off her head. And it felt like there was going to be some more epicness there, but it just ended up being kind of a quick little thing at the end. I don't know. But his makeup, I thought, was a little bit heavy. It seemed like the prosthetics didn't really allow the conveyance of like emotion and his movement quite as much as the Ron Perlman Hellboy did. So that was one of my other complaints, was that. But other than that, I felt as though it was a pretty good. Yeah, the David Harbour guy, which I've never seen Stranger Things, so I didn't know what to expect from him. But the overall tonality of his character, the humor, the wit, all that kind of stuff, sarcasm was still there. It just seemed his charisma wasn't as much, as Ron Perlman's, because Ron Perlman's awesome. I'm a Ron Perlman fan. So I went to this movie with low expectations, thinking, fuck, not Ron Perlman, not Gorilla Del Taco, so fuck, I don't know what to expect. But, I was pleasantly surprised myself, so. Mute Man?
What?
Oh, he doesn't, he speaks, he doesn't talk.
Well, see, the other thing is, though, Ron Perlman has a lot of experience in monster films.
True,
where the other guy has been in Stranger Things.
And that's it.
That's it.
I don't know.
Stranger Things is great, and I love Stranger Things.
Right.
But, I mean, this is the first time we've really seen him do anything other than be a...
Stranger Things.
Yeah. Right.
Has he been in anything else?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
Oh, wow. So this is like a big fucking step for this guy.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Alright, so you gotta cut him a little slack.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
He did do a pretty good job then for a first timer.
Right. He did get really ripped for that role, though. Like,
yeah.
He's a fat cop.
Yeah, I saw that. But he did have, there still was a bodysuit over him. And being a special effects guy, I use that term loosely, kind of like hookers. But I did notice quite a few times, like, the suit did kind of bunch out a little bit. Like, there was a couple of parts where he was kind of bending over funny, and similar to My Little Gut, it popped out a little funny, and you were like, you could tell it was a suit at points. So they did have a suit over his muscles, but he did get ripped. He did definitely.
Yeah, he did.
He did definitely buff up for the role. So good job for him on that one, because that's some dedication for the part. But still, that was what I'm saying. Like with the suit, it seemed heavy on him. With Ron Perlman, it didn't seem so bad off. Like with it seemed more natural. Oh, okay. So here's my complaint on that one, because I didn't realize that Ron Perlman's suit looked so goddamn cartoony. It looked like a goddamn, like, Looney Tunes cartoon. It was very bright red, very slick. shiny, very, there was no hair, there was no realism to it, really. Mm-hmm. His teeth were bucked, very bright white. It was a very weird, when you look at it, it was very unrealistic. It was very cartoonish, not graphic novel, not comic bookish, cartoonish. Like something you'd see on an after-school Looney Tunes.
Kind of looked like the Crimson Trinity from Fairly Odd Parents.
Right. So, yeah, when you look at it like that, when you see it, but Ron Perlman's charisma was so amazingly high that it really carried it through, and I never once thought, oh my god, that looks terrible, And with the world that, Tortilla guy, Guerrilla Tortillas made, it was so, like, epically done that, like, it was almost like a living cartoon. So it kind of worked. The new suit is very realistic. The dude had ass hair, for fuck's sakes. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So they did... Yeah, they did do a really good job with the realism of the new suit. I do have to admit, I like his teeth better, and I did like that kind of thing.
They did fuck up his horns, though.
So?
Like when you're in the beginning when he's grinding them, like when they were filing them, they added in some CGI like dust and whatnot, and you could tell. But like when they were like wiggling on his head, if you watch it, like they tried to steady it and they tried to like hold it and make it not a big thing, but they were still like wiggling around pretty good.
My other real complaint, which when I pointed it out, these two guys agreed with me, was their inconsistency of the CGI. There was some amazing moments that came through. Really nice, really beautifully done. The overall film look was darker, grimmer than the other two films. But the CGI was really well done in a few parts. Like the big warthog guy looked really good, running around, stomping around. But there was a couple of parts, spoiler alert, where they made this ghost thing puke, vomit ghost monster guys. Right. Definitely not look the best. With human faces pasted on them. Right? And when they did that, it was a very painfully obvious, it looked kind of like a video game cutscene kind of thing at best. And by comparison to like the Hellboy riding the giant demon and cutting people in half and the big monsters and the warthog shit like that, it looked pretty bad. And then during the giant scene, there was another part where like he cuts them in half and does some shit with them. There's a couple of parts in that looked pretty shaky. The blood at the part where he hits him in the head and stuff, and I was just like, damn, yo, that's pretty rough. That looks pretty rough. But, for the most part, that was my only real complaints. So.
I mean, Rotten Tomatoes gave it, I think it was a 9%.
Rotten Tomatoes is fucking garbage.
Well, yeah, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 9%, and I don't understand why. I do agree with you on a lot of the graphics parts, but my biggest thing whenever I go to see any comic book film is, do I expect it to be 100% onto the comics? No, that's not going to happen. There are going to be creative liberties taken with any film, and that was the biggest controversy with Del Toro not being able to put his hands on this one.
Right, yeah.
And that's part of the reason why Ron Perlman isn't in this one either, is because when Del Toro said, if I don't have control, I walk, Ron Perlman said the same.
What did you say?
And I think people were so set on them being in it that is why it's being so harshly judged. But like pointed out, Ron Perlman has more experience in monster movies and in acting in general. And Del Toro does have great vision and great creativity. Do I think that it would have been better? Maybe. Probably would have graphics-wise, because his use of practical effects was amazing in the first two films.
Right, yeah.
But as far as the accuracy to the comics, I don't think we're going to be able to get much closer, because what a lot of people don't know is what I was mad about was in the first two movies, how Abe Sapien was done. His character, his personality was done right, but he is a big dude. He is built almost exactly like Hellboy. And he beats ass constantly. But he wasn't like that in the movies. He was like the kind of book nerd, I'm going to try and not fight at all, hide away from everything.
But I can understand that they did that because of the contrast of characters, And for the audience, that kind of is more, you can't have two brute forces just stomping ass the whole way, because it doesn't give you that conflict of character development and conflict of characters in general. Like, you have to have the jock and the nerd. You have to have, the cheerleader and the slut. you have to have, you know what I mean? Like in all that character dynamics.
Right.
Well, right, but
You
this
know.
should, I get what you're saying, but I don't think it should be harshly pigeonholed because then you also have Thor and Hulk in the Marvel
Well, yeah,
movies.
that's true.
And those are
Yeah.
two very strong characters. But what makes the difference is you have Bruce Banner in the Hulk and Thor. So their own character development is set there to also help contrast.
Right,
them.
right.
But I mean, like I said, I look for accuracy. Now, in the newest one, if you do go and see it, which I at least recommend you give it a watch
Yeah.
before you listen to the critics, like any movie, because I don't pay attention to them either. I want to go see it. They did, spoiler alert, they introduced Lobster Johnson in this one, which he is a Nazi killing machine. Now, they introduced him in this one in place of, if you've read the comics, in place of the Torch of Justice. The reason why he is not in this is because of a licensing issue. They could not,
No, go ahead.
could not
Check.
get the rights to have him in there. So he takes a lot of the place of the Torch of Justice in the movie, and you can tell. But that's why. It was a licensing issue.
Why was it? You know why it was a licensing issue?
Because Magnolia, he did not have creative rights to the character, and they didn't get permission when the movie was made.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, they did. I think they did Hellboy's character well. They did Alice's character pretty well. Daimyo's character, however you say his name, the were-leopard dude.
Right.
They did his character pretty well, but like he said, this is a movie that could have easily been stretched into 3 movies. But because of how you have social media set up and all the harsh critics out there, this probably killed it, because they said when it released that it cost them $70 million to shoot, and its opening weekend it only made $12 million. That's rough.
Yeah.
And if you watch after the credits, which you should with any movie nowadays, it's essential to
post-credits
watch.
is the thing. Yeah.
It's essential to watch after the credits. Another spoiler alert. It introduces Abe Sapien's character, and I was really excited for that because I like Abe Sapien's character. They have not introduced Liz yet, but they may not get the chance because this may have
They
been the
won't.
nail in,
It's
this-
done. It's
Probably-
one and done.
Yeah, the nail in the coffin for this,
Yeah.
which is it's.
One thought.
It was pretty sad because I really liked it. They introduced a lot of important characters because also in the comics that didn't upset me. It just irritated me a little. In the comics, you don't find out Rasputin's involved until halfway through the comics. He's always a shadow behind, the shadow behind the puppet master and everything like that. And it's not even Cronin that kills Broom. It is a Samael-esque type character in the comics. Which, if they would have done that, because that's what triggers this whole event for Hellboy to search for him and stuff.
Really quick. I don't mean to interrupt you, man.
There you go.
Hey, we're not even letting Tenpound talk. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. You're just here to look pretty.
I'm beautiful.
Yeah, you're just here to sit there and look pretty, dude. But, talking about the were-leopard really quick, right? I really felt as though he was a wasted character in this movie. Like, you could have taken his part out of this movie, you could have edited him out of this film, and it would not have changed anything in the movie. Like,
That's true.
it really wouldn't have. There was minor conflict about him, for a minute, bringing on the chick, the ghost medium, right? But without that little conflict, Hellboy would have brought the ghost medium along anyway, and she ended up coming along anyway. So that really wouldn't have changed anything,
Okay.
right? So he would have just brought her along, she could have interacted, whatever. The only thing he did was a minor inconvenience for about 2 minutes in a fight scene at the very end with the Warthog guy.
And they both got their ass handed.
And they both got their asses handed to him. So in the end, it didn't really matter anyway. He didn't actually help at all. It didn't change anything. If he would have came in swinging and he would have been the one who saved Hellboy, then that would have been the moment. That would have been the triumphant, the moment, the point. But he didn't. He got his ass handed to him. He got thrown off to the side. That was it. So he really didn't. I really felt as though him being written in there even didn't fucking make sense in the end. Like it was a wasted character, wasted time.
He's useful for the zombie monster mash.
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot about that for a second. But even then, she became more useful than him.
That's
After
true.
she realized I can just punch their souls out, and she was like, wait a minute, what? Not stay behind me. So he was useful for a joke. He was useful for a single punchline in the movie where she at first was hiding behind him, and she goes, oh, he goes, stay behind me. She goes, where am I gonna go? And then a moment later, she finds out she's more powerful than anything, and she can punch spirits out of things. And she's like, stay behind me. He's like, where am I gonna go? So he was useful for a joke.
I'll give that to you.
He was written in for a single joke. That was really bad. But
I think that also comes into play with the it was rushed.
yeah, it did again. Yeah, they could have. It did feel like I said, like there was a little bit of rushing to it. Like they were building up to quite a bit more. Like when hell opens up, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the most exciting parts. And I'm not saying don't see the movie, because the movie's great. I did like it a lot. I was surprisingly surprised of how surprised I was about being surprised. But the point of it is like, it still is a good film, but that hell opened up sequence, that's pretty much in the trailer. And that's about it. Hell opens up, a couple of demon things come out, they look great. They kill a few people, and then they go back in. That's pretty much about it. And it was just, that was it, we're done. I was really expecting that to go on for a minute. You know, I was expecting it to be quite a bit, and he was going to have to, like, go fight a bunch of shit and take care of business. But it was a chop, and everything's all, whoop, we're done. No, it was kind of a missed opportunity. You know, if they would have extended, I'm hoping there's a director's cut, or like an extended cut that's like 30 minutes extra, where they would have developed that a little bit better, because I really think that would have sold it. They could have extended the movie 15 fucking minutes, and just a little bit more into that, you know, epic final third act, and it would have really paid off, you know, I think. Better.
I agree.
I think.
Yeah.
Tenpound.
Well, even like, so when Maleficent is up on the hill there, fucking
Mila Jovovich.
Right.
yeah,
her character.
she's up on the hill and she's got her army of darkness. You know, all the trolls and shit come out of nowhere and are, you know, going to help and fight and whatnot, and they turn tail and run like bitches.
Right. Yeah.
There's nothing. That's it. Her army was like defeated when somebody showed up, shot her in the eye, which didn't do anything, by the way.
Right.
Everything still ran like a big bitch.
Also true, you know.
And went back into hiding. And then it skips over to like the powers of hell just kind of take the place. Like they didn't really develop the night creatures aspect of it either.
Right.
It just went on to Army of Hell.
And see, that's true. And like, you know, it could have been developed into multiple movies. Kind of like, you know, in the Golden Army, the Hellboy, the second Hellboy film from Del Taco's fucking trilogy that didn't happen. You know, that movie was all about, you know, the creatures wanting to reclaim their position. And it really went into like the underground world and all these characters and how their society worked and all that. Really was showing you that stuff. Now maybe they just kind of shuffled over that because his movie kind of covered that. So maybe they thought, oh, the fans will forgive us. Maybe. I don't know.
Not 9%.
But, you know, I'm even a fan, and I'm like, nah, it would have been nice to, seen more to it. Or, you know, if the goblins and the trolls and the monsters, the night creatures came up the mountain to save their queen, you know, come the fuck on.
Like some sort of little battle even. Like, like, maybe she just leaves and is like, kill him.
Like,
Something.
she would have been like, oh, my fucking eye, you're gonna fucking come to me no matter what, we'll do this. And she, like, powers him down a little bit, and he's like, ah, fuck. And then she goes to the portal, and then all of them come up on him, and he's all, ah, fuck you guys. That would have been a little bit better, you know, a little bit more epic. It would have been a payoff to that build. But now they're like, I left the stove on, I'm gonna go home.
The little ones are the ones that stayed. Like for a couple seconds longer than even the trolls.
Yeah,
the fucking gremlins.
Yeah.
I think that the biggest part, the reason why it was rushed, is actually due to the attention spans nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, we all grew up in the 80s and 90s watching these type of movies, so we're used to...
The good shit.
Yeah, we're used to a lot of character development, or decent character development at least. We want that build-up. With all the character development, you know, movies nowadays, they just want that fast pace. We want the action, adventure. They just want it right then and there, and it just seems to be that they don't get that anymore because people don't want to wait. They want it now, kind of instant gratification instead of the build. Because when you watch a lot of the older movies, you get It's a good one. It happened with another movie, actually, that was supposed to... It got A-list actors in it. It was The Last Witch Hunter. Now, if you watch that movie, the same thing happened. The concept, the story could have easily been stretched into 2 to 3 movies, and it would have been amazing if done so. But Tenpound was right. It's just that a lot of it just seemed, okay, well now we got this big suspenseful moment, like when the armies pop up, you expect a huge fight. Hellboy shoots her in the face, and then they all just fucking run. I mean, that could have easily been stretched out into another 10, 20 minute fight scene to where, okay, well at least they would have fought for her. But it's like, no, okay, so we got this aspect down. She wants an army of the night. Okay, let's move forward. It seemed like they wanted to fit a whole bunch into this movie and try and hook audiences instead of, stretching it out. Because the first half of the movie, you could have easily stretched into one movie itself. It's like, okay, so they had to go find the parts. He talked to Baba Yaga, or whoever she is, however you say her name.
Right.
And they could have cut off right there and left that open for a sequel. And in the next movie, he could have went and found, like, okay, and then it expands on the army of evil creatures part. Fights her, she runs away at the end. That could have been stopped right there and created the third movie.
Question is, do you think they knew they weren't going to get a second movie?
I think, that's a valid point. I think it's also because of the harsh criticism, because Del Toro and Perlman were in it.
They might have been like, alright guys, this is our one shot. We might not be getting sequels, let's just fucking go with it. Let's just throw as much shit in here as we can and hope for the fucking best.
That's a valid point,
At least we'll get one out of it.
I will say the Baba Yaga character is super fucking cool.
Yeah, Baba Yaga's cool. She knew about the history of it, so
she was like menacing and they even did the mortar and pestle thing. Yeah, which I thought was super cool that they kind of incorporated that. Because everybody thinks of the house. Everybody thinks of the house.
They do the chicken-legged house.
Yeah, but the...
and they also think of the porno tape that came out a few years back.
Did you like what you saw? Let me show you how it's done.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Keep talking. Let's not look that up again.
Look it up.
Don't look up Baba Yaga porn. Do it! No, I'm just kidding. Don't do it. Do it. It's sexy.
Chicken legs, though?
Awkward silences. Anyway!
But yeah, and then
I'm gonna make that happen now. I'm fucked up. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, she was an amputee.
I'm into that. I'm totally into that. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
So anyway, and they brought up the whole like, that was also kind of an interesting concept simply because she's introduced as like a creature in an alternate dimension because she's banished there. Yeah. Which is interesting. So he's moved her from out of our reality, which weirdly enough she can still manipulate our reality because she brings him to her.
Right.
And she still eats children in this alternative reality.
Right. I was wondering about that.
It's because of the folklore behind her. She's a person that went and got bad. If I'm remembering correctly, she's basically the boogeyman.
Right.
And what would happen is that she would come get young women and lure them to her, and they'd be slaves for her house. And then when she was done with them, she'd eat them.
Well, that's what you normally do with women.
Well, Well, in a different sense, yeah.
No, okay, yeah.
But it's just so that's a play on her lore. But they would have to summon her. So it's kind of like the Bloody Mary concept. If they're focusing on her lore, I don't remember what culture it's from, but
it's Russian.
It's Russian. Okay.
Yeah, some of it's mixed though. Like sometimes she's a helpful creature. Like she's the witch in the woods, and sometimes the witch eats your face, and sometimes the witch is like, here's a love potion, but you're probably gonna have a bad time with it.
So it's just, I agree though, her character was very well fleshed out, like how they did it. She was very creepy, the house was awesome.
The effects were all really well done.
Yeah, and I think that comes into play. It's like, okay, well we focused on here, now we have to move on and just rush this along and dish all this stuff out. Yeah. Because I agree with you on like the specters that came out of Alice's mouth. Oh, it looked...
Those were definitely just like, I feel like they took the CGI right out of fucking Conjuring, or the Haunting in Connecticut. They stole those. They're like, here's the code. We're just gonna borrow it, fucking throw it in, and plastic face on it.
Copy paste this face. We're there.
Yeah. Now, how Ian McShane did as Professor Broom. Yeah, I agree, because somebody mentioned to me that he was kind of like a cool old Indiana Jones type, and I was like, okay, I can see that. But he wasn't that great. I think they were depending too much on his name as an actor.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other guy that played the one in the other two movies, I thought did really good.
John Hurt.
John Hurt, yeah.
John Hurt, he died, but yeah, he did really well.
No, I thought him as a father figure, as
awesome.
As a mentor, as a like that character, that feeling behind his voice when he talked to Hellboy, when he portrayed the character, it felt genuine.
Yeah.
I thought, and then this character, I know they were going for that hard ass dad guy. I'm a hard ass dad. All right. I'm like, fuck you kids. You can learn to fly down the stairs. Oh, this is Sparta. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that, DHS. Please don't come arrest me. But, I'm kidding. Seriously, I don't do that. Please don't arrest me. But, no, I'm a hard-ass dad of my kids. I'm like, hey, do your chores and get your stuff done and, whatever. You gotta be, you gotta get your kids to... But this guy was just like, you're a pussy, Hellboy! Fuck you! Get some balls! Fuck off!
It's like they were stuck in that phase where the son wants to beat up the dad constantly.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It was like too much.
Burst of hormones. It's like, fuck you, dad. It was just kind of like that throughout the majority of the movie.
It was like a stereotype gone up 2 notches, 3 notches. Like they were tryhards. Yeah. They were like being tryhards with it. They were like, nah, this is they went too hard with it.
In theory, like Hellboy, doesn't he age? Like he has a burst of age. Like he's really young in an old person's body. Isn't that part of like the lore?
Yeah, he ages very slowly, so he kind of matures very slowly too.
Right, but his physical body matured fast, and then it stopped.
They were planning on him being an Unrama real quickly and taking over the world as soon as possible, but it didn't happen.
Right.
It hadn't happened yet, but yeah, no, you're right.
So, I mean, in theory, he's still an adolescent child in a grown man's body.
Right.
So it makes sense there'd be some, like, teen angst feelings.
Well, yeah, but...
And he's like, fuck you, Dad, I want to, I don't want to hide, I want to be out and about.
Well, he was.
And that's the thing, too, he's not hiding. He's not hiding, he's out and about, he's fucking drinking, and people know who he is. And they're like, hi, Hellboy, you're getting hammered in this bar in fucking Mexico, and nobody gives a shit.
There was absolutely zero, fucks given by anybody. Everybody was like, he just walking down the street, everybody's just like walking by like it's no big deal, like it's normal. Right. And you'd think people, even if it was somewhat normal, you'd think he'd either be a celebrity or recognition of some sort. Hey, you're Hellboy, can I get a picture? Hey, this, that. You fight all these monsters, you do all this stuff. Hey, I want a picture. There would still be some kind of noticing, going on. There'd still be something like that. But it was just, that felt kind of awkwardly out of place, I thought, too.
They skipped that development of his character.
Right, and so it felt kind of out of place.
But I'll give you that. Yeah, that's true. But I think that plays up to the whole. It was rushed.
Right. Yeah.
They skipped. But I think I agree with you. It was like probably halfway through the movie after they realized what was going on, and they were all ready. Because what happened was before the movies even finished shooting, they sent out screenshots of how Harbor looked in the Hellboy movie.
Oh yeah, I know everybody.
And everybody was shitting on it, and I thought it looked great. I was excited. I was like, "This is awesome," because how you said he looked like a cartoon character come to life. And not in the most pleasant way.
Right.
It was too perfect.
Yeah.
And like I said, he looked kind of like the Crimson Chin from Fairly Odd Parents.
Right. Yeah. Talking about Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman's character. Not that he couldn't pull the character off, but
he did. He did.
He did really good. Harbor, this was kind of like I think they tried to do. It was his first time being in a big role like that. Not that Stranger Things isn't good. I like Stranger Things as well. But it was more realistic. Like, you had the detail. The scars on his skin was a big one.
Yeah, there's
the
hair.
Body hair. The hair all the way. And it's like he didn't... Like in the Hellboy movies, he has like the whole top knot get up, but it looks like you could tell that it was kind of a prosthetic. Like it was just kind of glued to his head. And this one, it looks like he actually grew the hair out. Like it was unkept. It was really well done.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you on the prosthetics did limit his range of emotion, but at the same time, Hellboy doesn't give a fuck.
No, yeah.
So, yeah, that's really I really don't think it deserved the hate it got. I don't. And because of that, because of how much hate and backlash they got on it, we're not going to get a chance to see what they could do with the second movie.
I love how we were saying we don't believe it deserved the hate it got, but we're bitching about all these aspects of it. Like, well, I think these guys were shitty actors in it. I think they didn't do enough with this. I think they did. We are tearing it apart piece by piece and still saying, I don't think it deserved the hate.
I don't, but if we're going to sit there and be honest, I'm going to be honest about it.
It was a fun little film.
Yeah.
It's just, at the same time.
What did we like about it? What was good?
I liked how they did Hellboy's makeup. I liked how they did his character. I liked how they introduced more than just... Because in the first two Hellboy movies, one of the main stories was Hellboy's love for Liz. Right. That is what drove part of the story. They didn't have that, and it didn't need it, because you're supposed to focus on Hellboy.
Right, yeah.
And what I really did like about it was I didn't mind a lot of the graphics. Mm-hmm. I didn't mind a lot of it. Now, he has a point with the parts that he talked about, yes. So we're inconsistent, choppy, just kind of rough to look at. I agree with that. But the rest of it, the environments were awesome.
Yeah, they were.
The backgrounds, everything else was awesome. The giant demons that came out of the ground, they looked badass.
Sweet. Yeah, no.
And the gore in it, there's a lot in this movie, and that was done pretty well. Mm-hmm. And not all was CGI, none of it was practical.
No. What I was going to say is, I thought at first when they said it was going to be rated R, I was afraid it was going to fall into the what I call the Deadpool syndrome, where all these movies nowadays think that you got to be rated R to be cool with the kids, you know. And I really did not feel as though it did that. And a lot of people are saying, oh, it's just trying to be like, you know, Logan or Deadpool or whatever. And after watching it, like, they don't use foul, like, curse words, fuck. They don't say the stuff, like, out of place.
No, it's the right context.
Yeah, it did not feel like it was shoehorned in or that it was pushed in there just out of the purpose of doing it. You know? And the gore either. It wasn't like, I mean, it was a lot, but I mean, you're cutting monsters in half, so
yeah.
Fuck. But it didn't feel as though they were doing it on purpose and over. And I thought they were going to. I thought they were going to be like way over, just fuck, like me talking to people. And I was like, oh shit, they're going to do the Deadpool thing, and they're going to go out of their way. I really didn't feel as though that was the case at all, even though I've still seen people say that. But I really think that they're wrong. So, no, shame on you people. That's it.
No, I agree. It's just I really liked. I liked the experience of watching it because I read the books and I wanted to see how they were going to flesh out all the stuff. Mm-hmm. They introduced the concept of Kamazats, Lobster Johnson, they introduced Alice, they introduced Danielle. A lot of the character development was rushed. That being said, it's still overall a good movie.
Yeah.
I think people were just too driven by the fact that Del Toro and Perlman were in it. Overall, if you go to watch this movie to watch a Hellboy story unfold, it's going to feel rushed. It's going to feel like there isn't enough character development. But as he said, because of the flack when it was first introduced, they probably thought, you know what, we're probably not going to get another one.
That's my guess. I think it's a good guess.
We're going to just, we're going to do this, we're going to do what we can with it and see how it does. So I don't think that they were expecting to get a shoot another one.
Tenpound, what are your thoughts overall?
Well, one thing that I really enjoyed, so I have never read the comics. I know very little of Hellboy other than I think there was a cartoon on Cartoon Network once that I watched.
They did an animated
movie. I watched the animated movie.
There's 2 animated movies, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where like most of my Hellboy knowledge comes from. And one thing I really enjoyed is they actually kind of went into, I mean, I knew about like the summoning thing with Rasputin from the previous movies, but I didn't know that like he was actually half human and that his mother, was this cultist lady. So it was kind of interesting to bring in the like Arthurian, myth kind of aspect into it. And I don't know if that's canon or not.
I don't know if it's 100% canon.
Okay. Either way, it's kind of an interesting concept to kind of bring around, and it adds that more boy to the Hellboy part. Versus,
right, that makes sense.
I found that kind of an interesting spin on the tale. Trying to think of what else that I really enjoyed that hasn't been covered. Again, I enjoyed the graphics. The fear the people had of him was kind of interesting. So it seemed to be like common knowledge that he was the like Antichrist, end of days kind of fellow,
right? Yeah.
Which seemed kind of different from that was like the big surprise. He's the end of days bringer with his gauntlet of doom, and that was kind of an interesting kind of take. But I like from the previous movies, I suspect they took in what was already out there and assumed people knew and kind of built off of that. So. Other than that, I think that's all I got.
And then, I mean, he does have a valid point that they didn't even touch on in the first 2 movies. You do know, he's obviously a demon. You know that.
Right, yeah. Well, no.
But, I mean, it's like, well, they didn't even touch on where he came from.
Right, yeah.
In the first 2 movies. They mention in Golden Army that, his dad was a demon.
Yeah.
But he's like, why is he royalty? There's tons of demons out there. Why was he considered royal?
Well, keep in mind that was what the third movie was going to be.
Well, the third
I mean,
movie,
it was
yeah.
going to have to do with all that.
Yeah.
It was going to have to do with his family.
Well, that's
because
also-
he was having kids and things like that.
Well, that was also one thing. In the third movie was supposed to be the, that one, but what that happened is I think people also expected a sequel.
Yeah.
What they didn't understand is that this was meant to be a reboot of the whole franchise.
Yeah, and that's what, yeah. So, you know what I really liked more than anything about this movie? Seeing it with you guys. Oh,
We love you too.
I should have just ended the video there. That would have been nice. Nah, like, overall, we got about 5 minutes left before this one runs out, and then it's gonna be like 40-minute long fucking review. Jesus Christ.
Edit it.
Nobody edit it. I'm gonna edit it. Just leave it running. Nobody's gonna watch this, and they'll be like, "Fuck, that's too long."
You got 3 minutes.
Yeah, fuck. Ah, I'm gonna hurt. So, basically, yeah, I think that the whole thing is pretty good. Worth a watch. I think Rotten Tomatoes currently has the public seeing it at about 62% liking it, or something like that. I would say that's fair.
We're gonna look.
Because overall, it has a lot of great points to it. A lot of good stuff in there. If you're gonna nitpick about a movie, it's got plenty to nitpick too, though.
That's true.
That's it. So, like, if you're gonna be bitchy and whiny about, the Hellboy franchise not having, Del Taco and fucking Ron Perlman in it, then yeah, you're gonna hate it because you already hate it. That's how that works. If you're going to go into it with the idea of, I just want to see another Hellboy movie, you're going to like it.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, you'll find little things like maybe the suit looks a little here and there, or maybe the, CGI effects are a little here and there. But you know what? You can fucking do that with any goddamn movie these days. Your Marvel films, 61% your audience score, 14% on the fucking critics score, whatever. Don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes, number one, it's fucking garbage. Go watch it for yourself, make your own fucking opinions. That's how any of this shit should work.
But I think overall, all of us can agree, at least need to see it once.
Yeah, it's good. I'll own it, duh.
I will too.
I hope there is an extended cut with more battle scenes where they built up and did more with stuff, but, all in all, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm glad I got a chance to watch it with these assholes.
Me too.
So,
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. I'll
Alright.
do that.
Well, it's a movie you can at least have sex to in the background.
Especially during the Baba Yaga parts.
Yes.
Wanna nibble on Grandma's cookies?
Look what I made!